Hello everyone, thanks for joining. And today we will discuss with you very interesting gem that I found in the Steam seller. And the name of this Boar Pass of the Lotus. And a question worth asking from the start. Why isn't this game as big as Ori or Hollow Knight? I spent approximately 15 hours playing in Boar Pass of the Lotus, and for 99 of that time I was completely hooked. It was everything great Metroidvania needs. A distinctive hand painted in style. Silky smooth animation, just the Hollow Knight. A combat system that actually feels unique. Challenging platforming and that keeps you on your toes. A vast world with a diverse biome. A deep narrative with mysterious storytelling. And yet, no one's talking about it. Why? Is it marketing? Bad luck? A secret curse hidden in the lotus petals? Let's find out why this masterpiece is still in a hidden gem area. And we will start from the world. You can't separate the art from the music in both Paths of the Lotus. They are one seamless entity, an inspirable duo working together from the first frame to the last. So, in honor of the designers and musicians who clearly poured their souls into the game, let's treat them as one. When I hit new game, I expected the usual budget-friendly storytelling. Maybe a few static comic panels, some text-heavy narration. How wrong was I? The opening animation stunned me. Strange, eerie white carrots sleeping like monkeys from tree to tree. A falling star illuminating a dark sky, a mystical fox lurking in the shadows, and then Bo, our foxy lotus protagonist, at the center of it all. The moment this scene played out, I knew I was in for something special. The moment this scene played out, I knew I was in for something special. But it wasn't just the visuals, the music immediately wrapped around me. The delicate plucks of traditional Japanese instruments, the depths of the drums, and the ethereal strings blended seamlessly into the world. It didn't just set the mood, it was the mood. And then the gameplay started, and I tumbled headfirst into this handcrafted world of Japanese folklore. Every detail, the architecture, the bioluminescent flora, the shadowy figures lurking in the mist, felt intentional, cohesive, and alive. Each area felt distinct yet part of a greater whole, never once breaking the illusion of a singular, beautiful woven world. There was no lazy feel, no recycled asset that felt out of the place. And the music, it moved with me, entering a new location. The soundtrack whispered curiously and over. A sudden enemy attack. The tempo shifted, drums pounded, and the urgency kicked in. Conversations with NPCs? The music softened, adapting to the character's personality. It wasn't just background noise, it was an active part of the storytelling. But Path of the Lotus doesn't just use its art and music to decorate the game, it builds the world around you. Every pixel, every note, every sound effect is crafted to immerse you so fully that stepping away feels like walking up from a dream. And we are coming to the core of it all. If you've played Ori or Hollow Knight, you'll recognize most of what both Paths of the Lotus offer. One upgradable weapon, pairs that shape your playstyle, solid platforming, big interconnected maps, double jumps, and the usual Metroidvania staples. But one mechanic set both apart, and I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. The game practically begs you to stay in the air. The less time you spend on the ground, the faster you feel your teapot. Yes, really teapot. The stronger your Daruma, special attack here, becomes, and the quicker you will cut through both bosses and regular enemies. But unlike some forced mechanics that demand hours of practice, the system feels natural. At first, I was skeptical, really, but within 5 minutes I was hooked, completely hooked. Bo doesn't just allow aerial combat, it rewards you for it. And what makes all of this work? Tight, responsive controls. At no point did I feel like Bo was unresponsive or that my inputs weren't registering. Every moment was precise, every jump landed exactly where I expected, and every attack flowed seamlessly. The movement system is a buttery smooth, a must for a game that wants you to treat the ground like lava. Platforming challenges? Spot on. They were fun, varied, and never felt exhausting. The game fully utilizes its movement mechanics, making traversal an engaging experience rather than a core. Except for one thing, speaking frankly, the dreaded elevator rides in the final chapter. I hit a wall, sometimes literally, in the palace section where the margin for errors in movement became absurdly small. Up until this point, the platforming was balanced and fluid, but there it was felt unnecessarily punishing. Was it game breaking? For sure, no. Was it frustrating? Absolutely. Enemies and bosses here unique, proposal, and brutal. Bo doesn't just throw the same enemies at you across different biomes. Instead, each region has its own distinct roster, ensuring that every area feels fresh. The regular enemy in the mountains, you won't see it in other swamps. This attention to detail makes each biome stand out and keeps combat engaging. And the bosses, for sure, pure gems here. Each one focuses to you to master your movement, adapt your strategies, and utilize each ability in your arsenal. No fights feel repetitive or unfair, just a beautifully crafted blend of challenge and spectacle. When I read reviews, I've seen complaints about the map, but honestly, I didn't struggle. Sure, it wasn't always immediately clear where to go, but that's part of the Metroidvania experience. If you never get lost, is it even a Metroidvania? What did annoy me through was something I haven't seen in years. Shortcuts randomly lock in a game. Why? Why make me read a path I already cleared? This game has large, sprawling maps, and being forced to repeat long sections felt unnecessary. And then there is the palace, last stand. Platforming, more platforming. A few enemies, platforming again. Why? The other biomes had a great mix of them, but here it felt dragged out. Instead of maintaining the tight pacing of previous areas, this section overstayed its welcome. But that's it. Those are me only real compliance, and they barely scrape the surface compared to everything Bo does right. The biggest surprise for me, Bo's Path of the Lotus actually cares about its quests. Metroidvanias usually boil down to go there, kill that, return, talk, again go there. But here, every quest has a real story, a reason why you're doing this. Characters feels like they belong in the world rather than just being objective markers. Neither Ori or Hollow Knight had this level of side quest depth, and honestly, I was not expecting it here. One of the coolest mechanics, unlocking fast travel, isn't just given to you, it's woven into the world's lore. At first, when I found those fast travel posts, I saw strange symbols and couldn't interact. Later, in Sakura City, I got a quest from a dragon about a lost language. Completing it didn't just unlock fast travel, it allowed me to understand the characters of the world. It's such a small thing, but it made fast travel feel earned rather than just another game mechanics. And then there are scripts and lore scrolls, which give off major childhood library visits vibes. The best part? They're optional. If you are into deep lore, great. Go read everything. If not, you can just keep moving. But here, speaking frankly, comes the issue. After about 5 hours, the constant dialogue and lore dumps start feeling less like immersive world building and more like the game holding you hostage. There were moments when I just wanted to run, but the game was like, no, 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 no. Sit down, listen, my friend, you're on one. Yes, the lore is cool, but sometimes I just want to smack enemies with my magic teapot in peace. Another annoyance? Quest items sometimes remain in the world even after you've already completed them. Several times I thought I had missed something important, only to realize I was being misled by leftover quest markers. It's a small but very confusing design choice. And what to say in the end? And genuinely rich and thoughtful story when you want it. But sometimes it overstays its welcome, like a guest who keeps telling you just one more story when you're already half out of the door. And what to say in the end? Boa Pass of the Lotus is the coolest thing I ever had to Ori in years. It captures the same enhancing atmosphere, blending stunning visuals with soundtrack that feels like it was crafted but ancient spirits themselves. But unlike Ori, both roles in some extra spice, a combat system that thrives on the aerial battles, more detailed side quests, and an added layer of cultural authenticity that make the world feel uniquely alive. Both roles in some extra spice, a combat system that thrives on aerial battles, more detailed side quests, and an added layer of cultural authenticity that make the world feel uniquely alive. The platforming is tight and rewarding. The enemy variety is solid, and the mind map system adds a refreshing touch of strategy. But it's not without its quirks. Blocked shortcuts, occasional pacing, hiccups, and quest item confusion can be frustrating. I played Boar for 17 hours, and half of it I played on a Steam Deck, and the performance and other stuff around this are absolutely amazing. And if you have it, I absolutely recommend to play it on a Steam Deck. Still, if you loved Ori and the Hollow Knight but want a fresh take with a distinct identity, Bo is absolutely worth your time. It's beautiful, immersive, and just challenging enough to keep you hooked without making you rage quit. Have a good game and see you soon.